Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is Monday.
Sorry about that. No, I am actually in the process of getting a dumpster to empty out my garage to optimize my life in a way that I can actually create something that would look a lot like the workshop that I used to have back in the day.
It's a double-edged sword.
I'm sorry?
It's a double-edged sword. So you get the dumpster to help get rid of some of the stuff, but then as you're getting rid of the stuff, you're finding things you forgot you had. And then
That's
you're on
fair.
this whole...
That's fair. Well, it's a double-edged sword in a bigger way than you think, because I've also been looking to buy a house with either you're familiar with single men, where I could literally have a bedroom. I don't really need a kitchen. If you just give me a microwave, I'll survive.
You need a microwave, the pizza oven, and then you're good.
Place me in the woods. I'll knock down a tree. I have enough means to cook up some food on a spigot there. But no, no. I've been looking to move out of state, and everything that I've been looking for is either like a really crazy, like actually intact basement that's not ridiculous, with at least an outlet, so that I can jack from that outlet and plug in all my saws, and I could just start making stuff. Or, and I've seen this in Kentucky, in Iowa, I've seen where it's literally just like a little tiny house, and they have like, it's like, oh, look at this little adorable 1-bedroom, 1-bath house. And they're like, okay, and over here is a giant warehouse that we are going to go ahead and call the garage, with workspace. I don't know. We're going to go ahead and call that 20 by 50.
So the garage is bigger than the house.
I'm not. You know what? Honestly, that is my heaven. That is my dream house. My dream house is literally just enough room for a bed and a flat screen TV on the wall, and then I can do any other business outside. If I have a nice garage, I'm okay.
You are like every other man out there, and I'm not saying that in a bad way.
No, I know how we are. I get it.
But it's also, so my husband's similar. I actually spent 15 years in the military, so I understand exactly what you're talking about. I lived in that world. And so as a joke, when we moved into our new house, we moved into a small 3-bedroom house with a shop behind it that's bigger than our house. And so he lives out there, so I literally took the futon and shoved it out there. I'm like, here, don't even need to come in the house. You want me to move your dresser out there too while we're at it?
No. Your failure in that dynamic is not realizing that it's a 3-bedroom house plus.
True.
The men understand the plus. You're looking at the house and you're like, okay, there's X amount of square footage. We can do this. Because I apologize if this offends any women that might be listening. You want to make it look pretty.
Oh,
and then
no.
if there's a workshop, oh, I swear to God, lady.
I was just happy with the fact that, okay, my house, I'm one of those, when you see those big houses and those big mansions, I'm one of those that looks at, oh, my God, that many more windows I have to clean. That's many floors I have to vacuum. That's more work that I got to do.
When I look at a mansion, I'm like, who the heck is paying their air conditioning and heating?
See?
That's astonishing to me.
It is. My dream house is an old farmhouse. That is my dream house.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
My house, I have 2 special needs kids. So pretty's not an option. By that I mean,
I have a special needs niece, and I went out of my way to make her stuff out in my craft. I think pretty is the only option.
by that I mean I live with two. Okay, so you got a mom that's ex-military, a dad that's construction. I have two autistic children that are creative in personalities. So chaos and destruction ensues. If there's something broken, they're trying to fix it.
No. Oh, it's okay. Well, when it comes to that kind of stuff, are they not trying to create order? Is that there? Okay, so you got two little chaos solving
They're creative
children. They're trying to create order. They're little order creators.
They're the opposite, actually. They're very creative. So, one misconception with autism kids is that you need this ordering and structure. You need a fine line like any other kid does. And when you create this order and structure, when shit hits the fan, they can't deal with it. So, and me coming out of the military, I lived in the same world, so it was hard for me. So we've adjusted it. So what they like to do is when their creative whims hit, like my son will get words stuck in his head, and he'll write them out. And my daughter's all about painting and stuff like that. As long as you create that place in the house for them so they have what I call, it's very liberal, I don't like the word, but I haven't figured out a better way of saying it, a safe space, a place that's just for them to go and do what they need to do, then they are fine with chaos anywhere else because they know that they can go back to that place and reset themselves. And so, like, they like to cook. So, you know, the house becomes a disaster. Or they watch a video on how to make something and they will do it. Like, good example is we just bought bunk beds for the kids. They were there with the screws and the Allen wrenches and the tools and helped actually spend 4 hours with me building it.
Oh, you didn't do IKEA, did you?
No.
You said Allen wrench. I immediately thought, I was like, oh no.
No, we buy the kit, but it's solid wood. I don't do fake wood.
Oh, well, I can appreciate that. I learned everything I learned about woodworking and building furniture from the local Amish.
Exactly. Yeah, fake wood, I look at it as you're putting your kids in that bed, one on top of another. If it falls, we got problems.
Well, that's just basic planned obsolescence. It's cheaper material that's going to inevitably break in the near future so that you won't repair it, you won't make it better, and so you're just going to replace it and throw it in the trash and it ends up in a landfill.
The problem is fake wood you can't repair.
Hmm?
You get like tables are made of pressed wood. You get them wet. You spill water on it, they're done.
Oh, no. I recently, I've been using pine and cedar for the longest time, and I started chopping, like, local fallen wood from storms to make tabletops, and I started using epoxy.
Ooh. And with cedar, it actually helps eliminate the bugs in your house.
Yes, that's true. That's very true. Yeah. No, I started chopping stuff up, and I was actually, I don't know what, I think I'm gonna go to West Virginia next, but I want to start something where I start like offering local youths with their parents and stuff to come in and see how to use, you know, a miter saw, a bandsaw, all this other stuff, and offer them the opportunity to take woodworking and carpentry into consideration. Whether or not, you know, if you're doing it for fun or a career, I think people would actually benefit greatly from that.
You know, for doing that, a good target market for you would be either special needs like autism kids or ADHD kids.
Yes, I actually picked that up from a buddy of mine. He was on the spectrum. He had two really like hyper focused things that he went into, and he was very focused on vehicles, and he actually is working in NASCAR as a pit crew member. And the other thing that he introduced me to was working with wood, and that guy has he made money making as a pit crew member, so he has more expensive tools than I do. But no, that was a beautiful thing to learn, like, because it's, if you look at wood and you think clay, which is what he taught me, then yeah, no, I absolutely believe that people with autism, people who just don't have the capacity, and I myself was diagnosed very young with ADHD. Yeah, no, if you have something in front of you to pay attention to, yes, absolutely, that is very significant differential.
Well, that and it's something with their hands, so it keeps them busy. But they have that eye and that meticulous to, for details.
Oh yes. I've made a table that had over 2,000 pieces of wood in it, and I stained the tip of everything that I placed on the top of the table.
Yeah, I don't have the patience for that.
It's not the no, and this is a problem I've seen people have that I've worked with in other industries. People really are not good about separating, like, fragmenting their time. So, like, somebody shows up for a cubicle job where they show up at 9, they leave at 5. In between, maybe noon or 1 p.m., they get a lunch break. When you can make it 9 to noon or 9 to 1, you conquered the majority of your workday, and then you have the ability to go do whatever for that time frame. And then the last of it is your home stretch. And I don't know. I've met people that struggle with incrementing their time like that, where they literally go freaking crazy because they're like, oh, it's so hard. I have to work 2 different job sites and do 2 different things, and 8 hours here, 4 hours here. Yeah. Now, if you can actually separate what you're doing, you could probably be one of the best. Woodworking, I don't care if you're talking about welding. I really don't care what it is. If you're working with your hands and you can increment your time, then you're not doing one piece. You're doing 1,000 different steps incrementally. Yeah. No, I'm sorry, but that drives me crazy when it's as simple as that for me.
See, the problem with me is I get bored. I need action. I need movement. I need, so tedious things drive me nuts. I'm kind of like a bull in a china shop. The more I try to be meticulous and try to be careful, the more things.
No, there is a really easy solution for that, and I had to learn that in elementary school. You don't have an hour ahead of you. You have 5 minutes ahead of you. So what can you do in 5 minutes? Okay, you did what you had to do in 5 minutes. Okay, now what do you want to do? You want to go grab a snack? You want to take your dog for a walk? Cool. Go do that. And then you come back. Okay, now give yourself another time frame. Okay, 10 minutes. What can I do in 10 minutes? Okay, I did it. 10 minutes. Okay. What do I want to do now? Maybe I want to take a dip in the pool, skip rocks on a pond. Who cares? Okay, then you come back. Okay, challenge myself further. 20 minutes. What can I do in 20 minutes? And then you keep knocking stuff out like that. And I've sold $15,000 tables because I just kept incrementing my time. And then I came back to it, and then I left, and then I come back to it. I've never done anything in a day.
See, yeah.
Yep.
I love that. Well, yeah. I'm just the only thing delicate about me is the way I look. Other than that, I'm a bull in a china shop, and I'm good with that.
I'm going to tell you right now, that mohawk might not have been a good idea.
Oh, heck no. I'm still wearing the same hairstyle I did when I was in the military. I'm still trying to figure out what I like and what I don't like.
Did you just get out?
I got out 10 years ago, but I went from...
So there's no excuse now. You're just testing different hairstyles for an entire decade.
No, it's not that. I went from military to mom to special needs parent to learning what special needs was. And so
you're not going with a spiked haircut, is what you're saying?
No. My kids would look at me like I'm crazy.
You're not trying to look like Bowser from Mario.
No.
Okay, that's fair.
But now my kids are at that stage where I've gotten them to the point where they are regulating themselves, speaking, talking, interacting, being, like everybody else, to the point that they have the personalities. They're not just robots. And so now it's mom's time to figure mom out.
Isn't it strange how life tends to be like a video game where you have to pass certain levels over, and like you have to, like, you can't get happiness on this level. This is not your happiness level. You know?
Yeah. I never thought of it that way, but you're right.
Yeah. No. But that's...
And you really... If you don't like it, you can reset it and start over.
I wouldn't even say that, because nobody has ever been able to reset anything, because that's not how life works. But no, I was saying that, like, it's levels where, it's like reading a book. You remember those Goosebump books where it's like choose your own adventure?
Oh yeah, I'm old enough to remember those.
Oh yeah, me too. No, but and you kept your finger on that page in case you ended up in the bottom of a well or something.
Did you start it all over again? I don't like how that ends.
It's like, nope. I'm definitely not going to walk into Chernobyl. That's not happening. No, I was back on this page. Yeah. No, I don't know. I think that's actually pretty sweet. So you got your young bucks being verbal and everything?
Mhm. My son is verbal and he's sarcastic. I get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that's not my favorite kind of person, but yeah.
Well, okay, put it this way. When you have a child who starts talking, stops, and does nothing but scream for 5 years, everything for hours on end, and he starts
and then he
talking,
starts telling you that he likes his cooking, that he's a very big fan of your cooking. I love that so much.
Hey, I cooked in the Army. I was trained by some of the top chefs. I cooked everything but gravy. Oh, God, no. Are you nuts?
Oh, no, I wouldn't. You know what? Honestly, I think we would solve more problems if the people that we're beefing with, we just, like, made them eat MREs. It's like, okay, this is your life now. It's like, no, we don't want this. It's like, okay, well, you should probably comply with what we're telling you. I know that looks like a graham cracker. I'm telling you that it's not sawdust.
It is bread. And I'll tell you this much. When they say you can only eat an MRE 2 meals a day for 28 days, that is all you can eat. You eat it on the 29th day, you're puking your guts out.
I like to think that when you hit the 29th day, that you've consumed so much radiation. I don't believe this, by the way. But no, then you get a superpower at that point.
We do. We can see in the dark.
Oh, man, that stuff was sad on those.
It's kind of like spam. What is it?
You know what it is? Okay, I got you on that one. Just enough. All right.
Sliced processed alien meat. You just don't know what it is.
You don't.
In Minnesota.
Okay, first, if you look at it and it doesn't look like, have you ever picked up something and you looked at it from different angles and you're like, that's not food?
They're still trying to figure out what it is from this day. What was that?
But they're like,
that's what you learn. Don't question it. You just eat it.
We're going to go ahead and order you to eat that at this point. You need some kind of calories. And I was like, is this calories, though?
You don't want to know.
Is this a weird diversion, like an offset from that Alien movie? Instead of it hugging my face to have something pop out of my chest, is this what you're doing to me?
The
just gotta eat this bird. Oh, did you see that movie, the train movie? Freaking A, what was that called? It was like the future where there was like a nuclear war or whatever, and it was nuclear winter, and this guy had a train. Oh God, what the heck? What? I have to Google this. Please, ma'am, continue. I'm going to Google this because this is actually an important point. It's where things can go.
All I got to say is meat should not make a noise when it comes out of a can.
Oh, okay. Snowpiercer is the name of the train. Did you ever watch the movie Snowpiercer?
I did not. It's on my watch list.
Okay, I'm not going to ruin it for you.
I have a list of movies.
You're going to look at bugs in a different way after that movie.
Oh, man, I was stationed in the Middle East. All bugs freak me out.
No. External bugs are scary. Okay, well, like when you think about bugs, what's your scariest bug?
My scariest?
Yes.
A camel spider.
All right. Okay, and I want you to hear me out on this. Imagine a camel spider with wings.
Oh my God, it's like a roach.
Yep.
We used to joke about those too when I was stationed down in Texas. So, okay, I grew up in Minnesota. It's so damn cold, we don't have roaches naturally. If you have a roach, that means someone brought it to you.
Yeah, they would freeze to death. Yeah, if you have a roach in Minnesota, you're basically Canada. It makes no sense. It would freeze.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so when I went into the military, I got to see them for the first time. And it freaked me out because you always hear these horror stories of roaches surviving everything. And so down in Texas, they have all of them. So we used to joke, this is how bored we'd get sometimes. So you have the water, the swimming water. That's the Navy. You have the flying roaches. That's the Air Force. And you have all the ground ones. That's the Army and the Marines.
Well, no. If you attach a small rifle to a roach, then that's a Marine.
You realize?
What about Space Force? You didn't even mention Space Force. You're talking about throwing a roach up in the air.
They actually fly. But no, back then there was no Space Force. But actually there was. Space Force was invented long before it is now. They just didn't have a fancy name. Now they got a fancy name. Because the guy who hosts the Tuesday show was actually part of the original Space Force that actually put the satellites into space. And I tease him a lot because of him putting the original satellites into space and him, with the GPS and all that crap. I always go, so it's your fault we have stalkers.
You know what you should actually tease them about?
Women.
You know you should actually tease them about? Have you ever seen that movie Starship Troopers?
Yes.
I'm not going to say that you should say this to this individual, but if you do, that's hilarious. Why the hell do you want us to go to Clondaffy so bad?
Yeah.
No. No, I love making fun of nerdy people because I work with nerdy people, but I lack the capacity and attention span to actually do anything about it.
It's so entertaining sometimes.
No, we get along great because they'll mention something that I understand, and I'm like, I know what that means. 0110001. Got you.
It's kind of like the Star Trek people.
Oh no, I'll never understand them. No,
I still don't.
no, that's a foreign language. I don't get that one.
Isn't it fun? I was on Duolingo the other day because my kids signed up for it. You can actually learn Klingon like it's a real language.
I know, and I found okay. There's an old dead language called Aramaic, and it's the most likely language that Jesus spoke. And there are still people in Iran and Jordan that speak it. And there's a freaking free app that teaches you to speak that language. And I found out, I don't know if you know anything about the panhandle of Idaho, Coeur d'Alene.
Mm-hmm.
But the tribe up in Coeur d'Alene, those tribal people are actually paying people from their tribe to learn the language. But the funniest thing about it is Coeur d'Alene is obviously a French interpretation of what they said. And they just have, it's a series of, like when you're speaking, it's a series of letters, like it's like 2 or 3 letters. It's like a D and an A, an R and an E, and then a bunch of apostrophes, like along the entire thing. And I apologize if this offends anybody, but I cannot distinguish the difference between that and the crap in the middle northern part of Africa where they're clicking at each other. I can't, I don't know. And then you have the Canary, there are literally people whistling as a language. I don't know. How am I supposed to take this? I want life advice from you now.
The biggest mistake the U.S. ever made is we didn't make an official language. But then it's different than the men language of grunts.
But I am Groot.
Exactly. Y'all communicate in grunts.
Oh, okay. No, I thought you said Groot, and I was going straight for the Avengers. No,
I got that one.
Okay, first, when men are in front of men that they have no intention, and I blame this on women. I blame you for this. When men are introduced to men that are dating or married to women, and women bring men around other men that had no intention of meeting each other, if we nod, we might scratch ourselves in uncomfortable areas, and let that be the entire day. You should probably just accept that, because that's the best case scenario outside of us hugging each other. The worst case scenario is we start tearing down everything and setting everything on fire. So yeah, just accept the nod. You got the awkward head nod. You get a little grunt out of us. That's good news.
Hey,
I don't know why women do that. Can you explain that to me?
How women?
Can you explain that to me, please?
Because it's a social status dragging whoever you're with you. It's like you're, and I always find this funny. So women piss and moan and bitch about the trophy, being the trophy wife, the trophy girlfriend. I've been there. But we do the same damn thing. I don't, but women do the same
I'm not
damn
going to
thing.
say you just revealed your hand a little bit there. Keep going.
Oh, no, I know. I'm open, honest. And, But the thing is that we do the same damn thing to men. But it's bad for women, and it's really insane to me, but, to be alone. So you drag with a guy with you wherever you go as a sign of, like, ownership, status. You have a guy. You're not alone.
All right, any men listening to this broadcast, I just want you to know this is a moment of introspection for all of us. A woman who might not be the brightest one, but she's pretty. I doubt she's going to look at herself and be like, do I actually deserve this? Now, gentlemen, if you look at yourself in the mirror and you understand you're like a 3 or 4, and you're with a 7, but you have a nice job title, you got to understand. This lady's telling you right now that it's a status symbol to have you around.
It is. I mean, look at how, okay, so women will literally take a guy who, like a better phrase, dumber than a box of rocks, but he's pretty.
Right.
That you want to mold and change into who you are.
Oh, I love that about women. I love that they think that they can change people. That's hilarious to me.
Okay, honestly, I don't get it because it's a lot of work.
No. It actually worked. I have an anecdotal example of that. My brother, who I love very dearly, and I think I owe him a slap across the face. I can't call it. I don't know. We've gone back and forth so much. But he met his wife playing Pokemon Go downtown in a small city that's a college town. And I made fun of him because she didn't immediately take his last name when they got married.
What was her reason?
She's a doctor. It was financial reasons. I don't care. Once again, none of this is important to me. If you marry somebody, then you're conceding ground, and when that happens between men and women, the man becomes the head of household. I don't know if anybody's confused by that.
A lot of people are confused by that.
Yeah.
Okay. I agree with you, except for in one spot. Like when I got married, I didn't change my name only because I had a son who disappeared when he was young. My ex took him and ran. And I wanted to make sure that if he wanted to...
If the opportunity presented himself for him to look up your name, that he would be able to find you. I understand that.
Correct.
That's not this situation. This is a woman that was educated in the college education system for several years, and she thought, I don't need a man. And then she met my brother, and my brother is a freaking awesome person. And she's like, okay, maybe I need a man, but I don't need his name. And it's like, your name is German, ours is Scottish. You should probably just take ours because we will outlive you. You should probably just take it. And we have all, yeah, because you guys fucking suck. No, I apologize. No, I was going to say, you guys suck at picking which side you're going to be on in World Wars. There's no way you're surviving World War III. I'm sorry.
Hey, I'm German. You spend most of your time speaking like you got crap in your throat. The more spit, the better.
Yeah, no. That's well, in all of the unnecessary vowels, I made fun of somebody. God, how do I say this? A large constituency, a large base of people that I work with are Indian, and they're very serious for no reason. So I like, nut tapping them linguistically. And I'm like, you guys have a ridiculous amount of vowels in your names for no reason. I will give you 3 syllables. I'm not going to learn your entire name. I'll give you 3 syllables. And
that's why I always throw out the disclaimer, I'm sorry, but I'm going to butcher it.
Yeah, no. I went out of my way to not do that because everyone's so easily offended these days. So I'm like, so no, I'm very upfront about that. I'm like, okay, so you have 20 syllables in your name, in your first name. That's adorable. Give me 3. Give me 3, and that is your name. And they end up usually giving me 1, and I appreciate that because my attention span is very, very short. But no, I was making fun of it, and I was like, you guys have so many syllables. What is this? And they're like, blah, 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 blah. Like, they had all this. I was like, no. You guys are like the Scandinavians, the Welsh. Just syllables for no reason. And they came back to me, and they're like, well, I can't really argue. And I was like, yeah, I know. The longest city name in the world is a Welsh city, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce it, because screw that. I'm sorry, what was the topic you were trying to discuss on your show today? Oh, did I lose you?
So how did they take it?
The people that I normally interact with laugh their butts off. The people that take themselves so seriously. I don't know if you know anything about Indian culture, but when Indians come to America, they're very still on that caste system. So the upper management, they wear pinstripe shirts and they tuck it in, and then everyone else kind of wears whatever the hell. It doesn't really matter. And so I joked, and I joke around with the big boss of everything. He's Indian as hell, and he respects the fact that I don't care that he's the boss. So thank you to that gentleman. But everyone, you get middle management. They're like, oh, I'm offended. I'm like, I don't care. What's your name? What's your, who's your company? Who do I call? And I was like, I don't fucking Google it, dude. I don't care. And they never do. So, yeah. I'm gonna call that a small victory for sarcastic people.
Yeah. Actually, sarcastic people have a higher intelligence than people who aren't sarcastic.
Can I push back on that?
Sure.
It's sarcastic people that can respond quickly with sarcasm that are more intelligent. Sarcastic people, there are billions of us on this planet. It's people that can come back with a snappy response. That's the smart people, because you're like, oh crap, oh man, I wasn't even ready for that. Yeah, those are the people that will end up ruling the world.
You fit into two categories: either you're really smart or you're ex-military. Because we thrive.
Holy! I did not know that was the metric.
You'll find very few ex-military that are not one-line quipped, smart comments back.
What? Okay, I have to ask you. You pointed out that you were in the military. What was your ASVAB score?
My ASVAB score was 98%. I only got one wrong.
You're one of those?
I was one of those that remembered everything really quick, really easily, and I am very smart. But I'm also extremely sarcastic.
So you just lied, or you were honest? I'll never know.
I'm
See, isn't that the great thing?
No, I come with the disclaimer of my sarcasm is, you know, remember back used to say sarcasm was a defense mechanism to protect ourselves?
Yeah, I know. When you said 98%, I was like, that's not an answer, but go ahead.
I got one wrong. My sarcasm is a defense mechanism for y'all because y'all say something that I cannot be nice to. So the only way I can be nice is sarcasm.
Okay. I appreciate that you just yelled everybody from Minnesota. Holy crap. It's spreading.
No, I spent a good deal of time in Texas and down in the South. Most of my adult life was down south.
Right on. What was the topic you were trying to cover in your show today?
I don't have one on Mondays. We just go with the flow.
What? What is this sorcery?
I don't do scripted radio. One, it's boring as hell.
Yeah, that's true.
And two,
I try to stay on topic. I promise I try to stay on topic, and then when it's automatically like, just say whatever and see what pops out, I'm like, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
It is Monday morning reveille. It's all about Monday mornings. Wake up and enjoy the week. Start off in an entertaining high note.
You drink coffee over there?
No.
I know, right? Coffee's horrible.
Smells good, tastes like crap.
Yeah. No, I feel the same way about coffee and marijuana.
Me too.
Yeah, no, I drink tea.
You're one of those.
Oh yeah, no, yes, I am one of those. I keep it old school. I keep it pre-revolution.
So you're one of those just stood there with their mouth open when the Boston Tea Party happened.
I'm not saying that I would have I'm not saying that I would dive head first into that harbor just to enjoy the taste. Okay, no, let's talk about that. Okay, so the American Revolution was based on, obviously they were disrespecting people that were already here. They were disrespecting people that were born here and rose to prominence. They were taking over their houses. And then they raised the taxes on the American people. And I've heard both sides of this story. I've heard it from the Brits. I've heard it from the Americans. The Brits were like, yeah, we literally joined up forces and fought all those tribes off so that you guys could survive in your 13 colonies. And then the Americans were like, we're not going to pay another % tax. we're not doing that. And then and then we ended up going to a bloody conflict. Do you think that the people that founded this nation would tolerate the ridiculous behavior of the people running the show these days?
Oh God, no.
I know. I'm aware of that. You think George Washington crossed the Delaware to kill all those people on Christmas? And then, today, you have these idiots like, yeah, the NSA and the CIA and the FBI, hey, you can't even think without them recording it because we have new technology. And, yeah, they're just reading your mind now.
Well, my biggest issue is the fact that we have a vice president that doesn't even know where your troops are. Who wants to become president? And she goes, oh, we have no troops in war zones.
Except for all of those bases. No, and I actually debated someone last night about this. They were like, oh, yeah, no, they were talking about the Ukrainian conflict. And I'm like, yeah, what the heck does that have to do with us? Those aren't our people. Oh, no, but this, and this. I'm like, yeah, dude, it's freaking horrible when people that might slightly agree with you, slightly ideologically agree with you. It's horrible when people die, but that that doesn't mean that we need to send our resources to continue the bloodshed, right? He's like, no, we have to continue sending them all the resources we can. I'm like, can I buy you a plane ticket? And if they hand you a rifle, are you going to walk into the line of fire? No, I can't do that. And it's like, then shut the hell up.
Yeah. It's like we don't talk about Gitmo. We don't talk about all the people that are waiting to be sentenced. And then the people that left the U.S. to join Al-Qaeda, because y'all millennials are stupider than shit. Oh, they get a better life than we do.
Time out. You're not gonna put that on all of us. No, that's not fair.
Okay, spoiled, rotten children that were given a handhold of everybody gets a trophy and thinks that.
You do understand those are city people, right?
Oh yeah.
Those are city people.
I don't put rural areas into my conversation because it's like school shootings. They never happen in rural areas. They always happen in the city.
Yeah, I know, because there used to be, if you go to high schools all across America, really, if you go to high schools and you go into the basement of that high school, there's holes in the wall because they used to have rifle training in the basements of high schools in the 50s. Because we saw what happened in World War I and World War II, and we were like, crap, we should probably be prepared if there's another World War. And we had that in a Cold War for, what was it, 60 years with Russia? 50 something?
Well,
it was a big number.
It still is, theoretically, because every time something bad happens, we blame Russia.
Oh, man. When I lived in Chicago years ago, and my roommate was Russian from Omsk. And he's probably one of the freaking nicest people I've ever met in my life. He had a great sense of humor, and he had a dark sense of humor, which I appreciate the most. But that's what Russians are, because you couldn't speak the truth. So if you were going to tell the truth, you were going to say it sarcastically. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, I think that's a hereditary trait.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I love the Russian people very much. I'm tired of watching people kill each other for nonsense. But no, that was the debate we were having, and I was like, dude, if you're not willing to fight, why are you willing to give money? I'll never understand people in this way. It's like, if it's something you truly believe in, if that's a hill you're literally willing to die on, then go die on it. No. I just want to make you feel bad for disagreeing with me.
Yep.
I'm just here to make sure that I say stuff out loud. I want to make sure that I'm the virtuous one, and you're the bad person for disagreeing with a virtuous position. And it's like, then you don't care. Stop acting like you care if you don't care. I'm not going to save Ukraine. I'm not going to go shoulder a rifle in Ukraine because it's not my people. I'm not going to go to Israel and fight proxies of Iran because those aren't my people. If a freaking ship showed up...
These countries that have been fighting for thousands and thousands of years.
Oh, don't bring that up. That's just facts and information. No, if a ship showed up in New York, if the submarine in Cuba makes its way to Florida... Act like I'm not going to hop in my pickup truck, my four-wheel drive, with a couple rifles and a couple pistols and act an ass. I would, if my country was being invaded by a country. But then we have this other thing that's happening where people are invading and they're not waving their flags when they walk in. They're more than happy to wave their flags after they've already infiltrated, but not when they're walking in. We have no idea who these people are. They're strangers from other places.
All right, here's my problem with the immigration issue. Okay, so we claim we're coming here because of life is so bad over there. You're going to die over there. But why is it it's only the men that are coming here?
You need to stop right there. The Geneva Convention says that if there are refugees, then they need to go to the nearest safe country.
Correct.
Mexico is in the top 10 economies on the planet. There is no reason to come to America when you're coming up through the Panama Strait and all that stuff to get into Mexico and then cross the border into America. The Geneva Convention has nothing to do with this stuff, and I wish people would actually understand what it took to build that concept of the next closest country that is free, that you will not be put in turmoil, you're not going to be genocided for going to the safe country. These people are literally traveling from the Middle East and Africa, where there are literally countries that are safer over there. Yeah. Then they come to this side of the world, and then they end up in Mexico, and then they walk across the border. I cannot tolerate this stuff. I apologize. Keep going, please.
No, I agree. My issue is, if it's so dangerous, why the hell do the men come here and leave the wives and the children there? You would be shipping your wife and your children here, and the men would stay there.
Do you want me to answer that rhetorical question?
Go ahead.
I don't want to, but I will. The countries that the military-aged men are coming from, they don't care about their women and children. They don't care. I know that because I've been there. I wasn't there in the capacity that you were, thank God. They don't care about the longevity of their nation. Their nation has been there for 5,000 years. They've never had to think about what it would take to make it better. They don't care. When they started calling Iran, it's Persia. It's Persia. Those are Persians.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When that's what happens though. They just change the name and act like it's different than what it actually is. They're Persians. They fought the Ottomans. They fought the freaking Mongolians. They fought the Chinese. They fought the Indians. They fought people throughout centuries. And now they're popping up, walking across our border. I don't know if you saw that video of that guy. He walked across the border, and some guy was just asking random people. He's like, oh, you're going to know who I am. He was from, like, Kazakhstan or Azerbaijan or somewhere. Dude, why? I'm not saying it's okay to shoot people, but when somebody is that confident, you will know who I am? No, I won't, because done. No, I won't know who you are. Now you're going to have to go to the same fate that a bunch of gamblers go to in Las Vegas. You're going to have a grave in the desert.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's like looking at these people. They're in name brand clothes, and they're not cheap clothes. But you have it so hard. I'm sorry, but how is it you have it so hard?
You remember that story? The New York Times, where there was a little girl crying, and then it turns out that was a stop by the Border Patrol, where they separated her from her mother for like 5 minutes to find out who her mother was, and she wasn't crying because they were being mean to her. She was crying because she had been marching through the desert with her dim-witted mother for 12 hours or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then they made contact, and her husband was actually the captain of a fishing vessel down in Nicaragua or something. And he was like, yeah, she paid $10,000. I told her not to go. There's no reason. But she went anyway, and she took our daughter. And it's like, okay. She's not allowed to leave your country ever again. Like, why don't you... I think the simple solution to a lot of these problems is if you have people in your country and they come to America, we will capture them and we will send them home and you will pay the bill. If you refuse to pay the bill, we will sanction you and cut off trade with you. And do you think it's better that you pay that bill one time and keep your own people in your own country, or all of you starve because you're all useless Central American idiots who don't know how to farm? That goes the same for most of Asia and most of Africa. You don't know how to farm food. Ask the Zimbabwe, I don't know what you call them, the Rhodesians. Yeah, you don't know how to cultivate, ground. You don't know how to do irrigation. You don't know anything about crop rotation. You're useless people. But you guys freaking breed like rabbits, so you have a population. I don't feel bad when they fail so bad because they do that to themselves.
I agree with you. But, and that's the thing is that those of these countries, the people that are coming over here, they don't want them back. They're criminals.
And that's what I loved about Trump. I don't like a lot of politics. I don't think anybody, I'll say it out loud. I'm Catholic. I only bend my knee to God. I don't care. I don't look up to men leading me. I don't care. I don't care about politicians. I look at them like dim-witted whatever. I don't care. I don't serve man. When Trump literally said, take these people back, and they're like, no, we don't want MS-13 back. He's like, oh, how much money do we give to them annually? Oh, $750 million a year? Okay, you're in default. We're not going to give you any more money. Oh, we'd love to take them back. It's like, yeah, you're going to do what we say or else. We are America. I don't want to be tyrannical when it comes to that, but you're going to do what we say or we will push all of you into South America, and your country is just going to be another state. Why? I just don't understand how people in such weak positions can have such, I'm going to call it chutzpah. I don't understand that.
Yeah, I don't either. It's,
I mean, there's a reason that America is scary. It's because Americans are scary. We're scary people. We will pull over if you have a flat tire and change your tire for you. But if you start fucking playing the call to prayer, act for a moment like we're not going to raise a rifle in your direction. Come on. We'll help you. Don't overstep that boundary of our kindness. And I think that's the difference that makes America a little bit different than the rest of the world. I will freaking carry you on my back to the hospital miles away if you are in harm's way and I don't have a way to take you there or call somebody to bring you. I will help you. I will strive and work my butt off to take care of you. But if you try to change my way of living to conform to yours in your foreign ways, screw you and everything that you brought. I don't care. I thought that was normal. I thought that's how we've always been. Our first war with another country wasn't a country, it was the Barbary Wars, where they had those North African Muslim pirates kidnapping Americans in the trade route in the Mediterranean. Why are there so many cities in America named Decatur? It's named after the naval captain, Stephen Decatur, who was enslaved, and then he escaped. Yeah, we won that war, but people don't know the history of our own people. They don't understand the history of our own country. That stuff breaks my heart a little bit.
I completely agree with you. So we are out of time for today. Join us back here next Monday at 9 a.m. Eastern. It's Monday morning.
Wow, it's really Monday. Oof.
Yeah. So have a good day. Have a good night. And we'll see you back here on Monday. Bye for now.